All right, so this is the corner of the house. That's the fireplace. Oh boy, you guys ready for another Aquachigger adventure? I hope so, because we're getting ready to go on one. But this is the first adventure I'm going on, although I've been here several days because I had some business to take care of. But now we're going to play for the next couple of 3 weeks. What we're going to do today, well, let me tell you where I'm at. I'm in Stanton, Arizona. And Stanton is an old mining community that was actually first founded in, I think it was 1863 or thereabouts. So it's a really early one, really early era. That was back when the Apache Indians were running around scalping people left and right. Lots of murders here, lots of warfare type stuff. It's a pretty scary area. There's actually some of the town is still left. It's an LDMA camp, which is the Lost Dutchman's Mining Association camp. That's an organization for gold prospectors. Anyone can join it. We have lots of camps all over the West, and I think maybe even some in the East, I'm not sure. But I'll give you a little peek of that maybe a little bit later. And anyway, so I'm staying with those guys down there. We're up here in the valley. This is a hugely gold-rich area. Back in the day, they used to pick up nuggets the size of potatoes just laying on the ground when they first found this place. I think there's a spot up there called the Potato Patch. Anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to get on the bike, and we're going to go up a little four-wheel drive trail. It goes up through there. It's actually too narrow for my truck. I was here 2 days ago. The camp host, the guy that runs the camp down there, brought me up here and showed me where the mine was so I could come up here on my own. I haven't explored it yet. We're going to do that together. But we're going to go up this trail. Hopefully we can make it to the top. And what we're going to find up there is a couple mines that are dug back into the mountain. An area where they took the solid rock out of the mountain, brought it downhill a little ways, put it into what's called a stamp mill. And a stamp mill is where they crush the rock. I'll explain that to you when we get up there. And turn it into like powder that they can then try to get the gold out of using other methods. What we're going to see then is the mine, the stamp mill. We're going to see some foundations where the foreman lived. In fact, it's really hard to see, but over in here there's a old house foundation too, but that's actually on some private property, so we can't go over there. But this is a Bureau of Land Management properties, government property. Anybody can go up there anytime. You just can't prospect unless you have permission of the claim owner, because all this land up here is claimed for prospectors. One person pays, they get to hunt gold on it exclusively. They get a license from the government. So we can't look for gold up here without them, but we can hike, we can camp, we can fish, we can hunt, we can do whatever else we want up there. Anyway, I'm going to put on my old school helmet, and we're going to ride on up the hill, and we'll talk to you when we get up there most of the way. You listen up there, you're going to hear the boys out practicing. Those are fighter jets. They get pretty loud too. Are you ready? Got these bent in so that we don't hit them on the bushes. I go really slow, by the way. All right, this is our first stop. I wanted to show you guys something real quick. We started down, you can see, look down there, you can see that little road. That's where we started. And the trail is pretty easy from here on out. It was just a little too narrow for my truck, so that's why I wanted to bring the bike. This is what I was telling you about, how this is a registered mining claim. No prospecting, but does not say no trespassing. So we can go wherever we want there. Mess around, we just can't prospect. All right, a little bit further up the hill, and then we'll take a look at the mine. All right, so we made it to the top. I want to show you this. These are some more clay markers here. Typically nowadays they use these white posts so you can see them from a long ways away. That's the information about the mining claim. They got these little jars right here, and you can open them up. And actually we did last time we were up here and we saw who owned the mine. I'll show you what those look like, but it has the information about who owns the mine and what the claim number is. That's another claim right there. That would probably go that direction. This probably goes this direction. It may be owned by the same people, but it might not be. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look around. What do you say? Let me get a drink first. Oh, and before you guys say it, I know that a four-wheeler would be a lot easier to use up here. But the problem is I do not like hauling a trailer, you know, for 3 days across country. I just don't like trailers, so I prefer just to use a bike. I can put it on the back of the pickup truck on my hitch and don't even know it's there. Anyway, so let's go ahead and take a look at what we have. Those are the two mine holes, adits that go back into the mountain. And we're going to look at those in a minute, but let's take a look at the rest of the operation. All right, so the first thing is that they would take the hard rock out of the mine, they'd blast it, and they'd take big chunks like this, and they'd put it in carts and bring it over to here. And I don't exactly know how this was set up. It's probably all washed out. This was probably filled in at one time. But down a little ways, there's what was called the stamp mill, and we're gonna go down and take a look at that. I'll talk to you a little bit about that on the way down. Yeah, so they would get the, you know, chunks of rock and they'd put it in the stamp mill. And it was actually big stamps, not like postage stamps, but they were big, heavy, like 100-pound iron, like pistons. And they'd go up in the air and they'd come down and they'd hit the rock and crush it, go back up and come down, crush it. And there might be, I think this was a 10 stamp, so they had 10 of these things. They were like, oh, they could have been 300 pounders, I don't know. But constantly going up and down all day long. And they say they made a horrendous racket that you could hear them for tens of miles away. They're just extremely loud crushing these rocks. This was probably run by like diesel generators, although I don't know for sure. But you needed either water power, diesel, or steam. Like I said, I haven't looked around here at all. That guy just brought me up here and just kind of pointed a few things out so I could show you guys. All right, yeah, here we go. So see these concrete pads? That's what's left of the stamp mill. So these would have been a big building here, stamps going up and down, making tons of noise, spitting out dust and stuff that they would take away to process. From what I understand, if you look down in the valley right there, see a little pile of stones, supposedly that is the foreman's house, the guy that, you know, ran this mill. So we're gonna go down and take a look at that. All right, so you don't want to rub up against these because those thorns will really stick and they go right into you deep. Got to watch out for rattlesnakes. I should have brought I didn't bring my leggings, but I got them up. I do have some with me this year. Snake guards. All right, so this is where the stamp mill would have sat. I really couldn't find out much information about it. That's good looking stuff. I'm not sure what this was for. Big heavy bolts, because this is a lot of steel, very heavy stuff here. Obviously got rebar, so that would kind of help date it for us. Wouldn't be before the advent of rebar. All right. Watch out for rattlers. I suspect this is the ore, maybe, that they're getting out of those mine shafts up there. What they do is crush. There could be like little crystalline gold in there. Might not be able to see it at all, but if you crush it and treat it, you can get the gold out of it. Whoops, I heard something rattling. It's a bird. Let's look here. So that could be gold bearing. I'm sure there was some gold because they wouldn't have gone through the trouble of putting this in here if there wasn't. Watch out for snakes. See, they got cows up here. That's a cow patty. Those are cow patties. So what will we have here? The mines will be interesting if this isn't. I did want to look at this. As we're here. Oh, look at that. That's cool. Watch out for snakes. Look at the little water hole down there, little pothole. I'm sure all these cracks have been dug out probably 20 times over the years. People looking for gold. That is supposedly the foreman's house. Let's go look at that. This would have been a trail he would have walked up every day. At least he was close to his work. And you see the fences there, and I did mention there were cows. The federal government leases out properties like this to local ranchers and farmers. I think they have to bid on it, I'm not sure. And they can run cows out here for very inexpensive rates. It's called grazing rights. Okay, keep an eye open for snakies. That's supposedly it right there. Corner of it. All right, so this is the corner of the house. That's the fireplace. You can see got a big piece of steel or iron going across there to hold the rocks up. Nice little fireplace, and it's mostly knocked down. I don't imagine it was very big, but looks like it came out to here. So it's basically just one room. Definitely not a place where they kept the powder, because they wouldn't have a fireplace in it. So it definitely was someplace they lived. Now, I'm going to tell you something. If we were here 100 years ago, there would have been a lot of houses up here. Because these were miners everywhere around here, and you know, we can see a few of the foundations today, but there would have been a lot more houses. A little piece of some ceramic here, and some iron. I'll tell you what I'll do later on. Down at the LDMA camp, they have a museum. Maybe we'll take a walk through there, and I can show you what some of the mining equipment looks like. Stuff they would have used out here. Looking downhill, I guess that's the road they came up and down. You can see how it's cut out right here and then disappears, and you can see going around the bend. I suspect it's really steep and hard to get through in the middle now, though, because it would have been washed out over the decades. All right, so wasn't a whole lot to see right here, but now we're going to go up into the mines and check them out. All right, so I made it back up the hill, a little bit out of breath. It takes me 4 or 5 days to get back in shape out here, hiking around. We're pretty high, could be mile high here, which I'm not really used to that. Decrease in oxygen, because the higher you go in the mountains, the less oxygen there is. So it makes you breathe harder until you get used to it. All right, I'm going to go ahead and I'll get my gear together. I got my caving helmet, some flashlights. We're going to look at that mine. I peeked at it yesterday from the entrance. It looks really shaky. I don't know if we're going to go in that one. But this one, it looks like it's fine. So we'll definitely go in this one. But you know what? Yeah, you do. I'm going to save that for tomorrow night. Don't want to make the video too long or about two different things. So hang in there, bubs. We'll see you tomorrow night, I hope.
She's promised to keep hidden in her dirt or deep in her creek. Mother Earth, she ain't saying exactly what she's saving, where it is or what it might be. Mother Earth, you are my lady, my big round baby. I'll rock you until I go to sleep. She don't care if you're dying or if you're living or somewhere